Yo, what it do out there, ladies and gentlemen? How are you on this fine Wednesday evening? Welcome to the Boys Club. It's your boy Rich Dollars. We are in the building. We are here. So let's have a great night. I know last week we gave y'all the revised version. It was a little bit shorter, but tonight we are back in effect. It's the Boys Club. It's Rich Dollars, Sean Prez, the livest, most realest, most everythingest podcast, IG live in the world. Shout out to SB. Shout out to everybody. We're gonna get my man Prez in here, and we're gonna get it popping immediately. In the section waiting to come in, but y'all know that we don't take that. We don't take requests yet. So please, when you do your requests, make sure that you do your requests when we are ready to go live with callers, because right now you're just wasting your time. Prez, what up?
Rich, what up, kid? Okay, Rich, before we start, like your screen is a little blurry. Wipe off your what you call that? The camera.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a little bit blurry. Shout out to my man I am Joe Paul Antoinette. I see you. Who else in the building tonight? Shout out to all the regulars who always rocking with us. SB, what up? What up? Oval, I see you. Make sure y'all follow. Oval is freaking hilarious. Okay, Richie D, what's the word, son?
We here, buddy. We here for the last time.
No. We're gonna do two more. We're gonna do two more.
Okay, so this one and another one.
We're gonna do this week and next week. Okay, so everybody, I know Rich and I have been saying this forever. It's like the boy who cried wolf, but we're only doing these are our last two episodes on IG Live. IG has not been kind to us. We're moving this thing over to YouTube, so please, we'll announce it several times throughout the course of the night. But please go on over to YouTube. Our YouTube channel is the Official Boys Club. Just punch in Official Boys Club, Sean Prez, Rich Dollars, and you can, get alerts there. But these are the last two episodes we're going to do on IG Live. Moving forward, they will be on YouTube. Okay, Rich D. Where I want to start tonight. Okay, you got your lighting right? Yeah, you're looking much better. What'd you do just now?
Turn the light on.
Okay, yeah, you're much sharper than you were. So maybe that was the problem. All right, I want to, one of our viewers sent us a question. I want to start out tonight with a question.
Okay.
And we go that way. All right.
Yep.
She said, "I benched myself for a while, and now I'm back on the dating scene. I met some interesting characters. One guy has admired me for several years. He quoted 10. I give him a chance, and he ghosts me. Another that proposed to me in middle school, I go over to his house because I need a hug. A good friend of mine died in a car crash. He invited me into his house and then masturbated in front of me. Lastly, an old boyfriend called me and asked me to be in a polyamorous relationship. He literally started introducing me to the players in the game, so to speak. At this point, I think it's me. I would love feedback at this point. I like to be in relationship, but not with these characters." The question is she doing something wrong, or is this just the dating pool that's out there?
Nah, that was a bit extreme, bro. Like what does SB always say? The dating pool got pee in it, and I somewhat agree with her on that. But that was extreme. So one nigga wanted 5 girlfriends in a poly relationship. One dude masturbated in front of her. One dude she dealt with, connected with, ghosted her. The other dude, she went over there off some, I need a shoulder to lean on, and he tried to beat. Like, nah, it's you, man. I ain't even gonna hold you. number one, you said some weird shit that caught me off guard in that too. You said that when she said somebody proposed to her when she was in middle school.
Yeah, I guess some playing,
Oh.
I don't know, kid stuff.
Okay, well, I would venture to say that the dating pool isn't what it's cracked up to be, but with what you just said was a bit extreme for your 4 to 5 scenarios. That's a bit extreme. I think you might be channeling your inner crazy person for the people that you attract, because that's weird that all of those things. Now, if you had said something like, this dude did some random shit, like, I get it, like, this dude didn't want to take me out, this dude was just trying to, but that was a bit much. That was a bit much for your examples. So I would venture to say that issue.
So you really gonna go so far as to say this is that woman? She's attracting crazy people.
That was the question, right? The question was, is it them or is it me? And if you said one scenario in which it was like, oh wow, that dude did that, but the other ones was just like, oh, he didn't work out, then I would be like, oh nah, of course it's not you. But when all those scenarios are like borderline everybody else's worst case scenario, and those are your 5 scenarios, nah, issue.
Okay, here's my thoughts. When I read it, I was torn. I was in both directions, because to your point, like SB, shout to SB, like she always say, the dating pool got piss in it. It's bad out there. That being said, this woman has found herself in some very, very crazy situations. To recap, one guy, she goes over his crib, he masturbates in front of her. Another guy that has liked her for like 10 years gets back in contact with her and ghosts her. The third guy is in a polyamorous relationship and he wants you to join the team. I gotta believe, first and foremost, here's what I say, right? And this is to any woman who's out there dating. You got to be careful with the conversations you're having with people. I think it's a bit extreme that somebody will feel so comfortable with you that they will pull a thing out and start masturbating in front of you. I would really like to know what those conversations look like before you ever went to this man's house. I'm not blaming you. Some people are just plain crazy. We get it. But sometimes we have a tendency to open the door to things that can go left really quick. You start getting into sexual conversations too early, it can have somebody feeling that this is something that you want. This is going to turn you on. People are crazy. One part of me thinks, yo, it's hard to believe you go to a man's house one time and he pull a stunt like that, but this is the world we living in. But to your point, so many crazy things are happening to this one woman. It probably, the common denominator is her. Like, let's just call it what it is. One person ghosts her, another person masturbates, another person wants her to be part of his tribe of women. I would be very selective on the conversations you're having. I would be very selective on putting yourself in positions that might compromise yourself, meaning going to these men's house too early, talking about things that are of sexual nature. So I'm probably going to agree with you on this one, and I don't have all the information. And she regularly watches the boys club, so I hate to slam her and say, yo, it might be you, but just judging from what we're hearing, it really might be her. Like, she is the common denominator in all three of these crazy situations. So that's kind of my thought.
I mean, you said it right. You said, what else can you say? Like, yo, at some point, what they always say, if it's one person do it, then blame it on him. If another time somebody do it, then it's just a coincidence. But when it starts happening 3, 4, 5 times, you got to start self-aware. You got to start looking in the mirror and being like, what am I doing to attract this type of person? And why these dudes feel so comfortable that they can come at me like this under these circumstances? Nigga, like I'm never gonna just randomly pull my joint out and start masturbating in front of a woman that's just weird. Like, that's weird. Like, right? Like, so when you start talking about the type of people that you are dealing with, it's got to be the conversation. It's got to be something that you're doing, because, like I said, one time you chalk it up to the game. 2 times you'd be like, okay. 3, 4, 5 times, and you gave 4 or 5 examples. Yeah, especially from one spectrum, from one side to the other. It's not like you get a bunch. Like, nah. You got to look yourself in the mirror, beloved. You got to look at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you before we move on. Like, truth be told, Rich, you know, we've all dated women. No, let me rephrase that. We've all been interested in women, and we know how far we can go. We know what them conversations like what them guardrails are. Like, yo, I can't go and treat her the way I would treat other chicks. I can't have the same conversations. And I would think to this young lady, you know, maybe the way, maybe the discussions, the conversations, and the things that y'all are talking about is giving people the impression that they can come at you and treat you in a way that you are not. That's not you. You're a lady, but based on your subject matter, they're not seeing it that way. And you know, in terms of somebody ghosting, that's a whole other conversation. We tapped on that last week, but it kind of leads me and segues into a video I want to play for you. So,
Okay.
everybody, let me know if y'all can hear this. I'll play it. Hopefully, the value is good enough.
Why do men pursue you and then the energy just fizzles out? Well, the answer is simple. Because they got to know you. They might have been attracted to you physically, but once they got to know your personality, it just felt like you would have fit. Ladies, we have to stop demonizing men for doing what they're supposed to be doing while dating, which is determining if you're a good match for them. Why do men pursue you?
Okay.
The energy just fizzles out.
You couldn't hear it?
It was like loud, and then it went down.
Okay. I think you sent this to me. A young lady went on the gram and she said, why do men pursue you? And then they kind of ghost you. The energy just fizzles out. Then the women come back and they demonize these men, and essentially they're not looking in the mirror after the men have ghosted them. And I wanted to get into that because you and me had a very interesting, and our show was short last week. So I couldn't really have the conversation that I wanted, and you had me dying when we were talking. I asked a very basic question, and it's something similar to what that woman is saying. So I'm gonna ask it again. Why do men ghost women when, from a woman's standpoint, it seems like things are going good? This guy was pursuing me. We feel like, and I'm talking not from the man's standpoint, from the woman's standpoint. It feels like everything is good. And all of a sudden, I can't get in touch with you no more. All of a sudden, I get a sporadic hit or miss text back. And then you just ghost me altogether. To the woman that I just played that y'all couldn't hear, should women stop demonizing men and start looking internally and saying, what is it that I'm doing? Or is it really men just don't have their stuff together? And if they're not getting what they want too quick, they're automatically ghosting.
there's three. There's three different things I can give you on this one.
Mm-hmm.
One being what you just said. Very quite simply, it's nobody's fault. This man pursued you. He was trying to get something from you. You held out on that. He had a wife, he had a girlfriend. He didn't have time to really put that time and effort in. And when he acknowledged the fact that you weren't going to be as easy as he maybe thought you were, he decided that it was time for him to move on. That's the easy answer. That's the easy answer that women want to hear, right? That's what women want to hear. The second answer is the opposite of that. A man met you, he was attracted to you, he pursued you, you gave him what he wanted too quickly, and he was like, I got a girl at home, I already did what I needed to do over there, so now I can put her in that area where she can get the sporadic email or the text message, and I am going to ghost her because I am busy, but I already did what I needed to do over there, so now I can keep her at arm's length. And then there's the last answer, and this is what women don't want to hear. A man pursues you, he thinks you're something that you're not. You turn him off through conversation. Whatever's going on within that relationship, maybe he's not confrontational. Maybe he's not finna go back and forth with you about how he feels about the things that you're doing. Some dudes just be like, yo, this is some bullshit. Shorty asking me for rent money. Like, I'm just using this as an example. It doesn't have to be this. There's a litany of things that can go on that can make a dude be like, this ain't for me. But today's day and age, that's pretty much the big one. You start asking for stuff. You start acting entitled. You start acting like maybe, you know, these are things that you should be doing for me, and these are things that you feel like somebody should be doing for you. So now you're starting to be overbearing, and that's what this woman in this video was saying. That's essentially what she was saying, because what I did hear her say was women and accountability. I heard those two words. And women and accountability usually means look at yourself in the mirror and be self-aware about the things that you're doing and what you're bringing to the relationship that might turn somebody off. It's not always the man. It's not always the dude who is looking at you and is like, okay, I either am not getting what I want from her, or I already got from what I want from her. Maybe he's just looking at you and is thinking to himself, this shit ain't gonna work. This shit ain't gonna work. She's asking me for rent money. She asked me for $500 to go on a date because she needed to get her nails done, a babysitter. So now I'm paying to take her on a date. I'm paying her to take her on a date, which is ridiculous. And this is today. And women will gaslight. Like, just like when you're in the club and a woman is like, walks up to you and, yo, I'm drinking 42 or I'm drinking Casamigo. Who are you? First of all, who are you? Second of all, I'm not buying you no drink. I don't even know you. But then the gaslight occurs. Oh, well, if you just a broke ass nigga, then just say you a broke ass nigga. No, beloved, I'm not broke. But but you can't gaslight me though. Because if you think I'm broke, then why the fuck are you here? So yeah, okay, yeah, I'm broke. Because I'm broke. So now you got an excuse to walk away from me. Go on about your business. But what women do in 2023 is they never internalize anything. Everything is exterior. It's never me. It's always everything that's around me. And it's because of the culture. The culture is being created that people feel like they're entitled. And in that culture, if you're entitled, you get angry when you think that you're supposed to be able to get something that's not given to you when really you didn't earn it. You don't even know me to ask me for that. You haven't done anything. And then you get mad when men say, what do you bring to the table? Men don't normally just say, walk up to women and say, what do you bring to the table? Hey, my name is Rich. What's your name? Oh, hey, what do you bring to the table? Nah, it's a conversation because you're acting entitled, which leads me to say, well, if I'm doing that, what are you doing? And now you have the nerve to get mad at me because I asked you what you were doing because you're expecting A, B, C, and D. Sean, that's insane. That's an insane proposition. That's an insane mindset. But it's today. It's today. Literally, my man told me the woman got mad at him. When I say that $500 thing, I'm not cracking jokes. I'm being dead serious. My man met a girl. Excuse me. My man met a girl, and he walked and was like, yo, what's up? Let's hang out. And she was like, cool, I'm with it. Here go my Cash App. So now the nigga's bewildered. Cash App? The fuck I need that for? Oh, because I need to get my nails done, I need to get my hair done, and I gotta get a babysitter. I need to look good when we go on our date. So now, hold on, let me understand this. I'm supposed to get you right for your date with me. So I'm supposed to spend money so you can meet me at a restaurant, or I can pick you up or Uber you or put whatever, send a car for you, whatever the case may be, to bring you to a restaurant in which I'm supposed to spend money on you. So I'm supposed to spend money on you so I can spend more money on you. That shit sounds crazy. But she got angry. She got angry. Like, yo, so what? What am I supposed to do with my kids? What? So, yo, what? I'm supposed to come out with my hair not done? I'm not coming out with my hair not done. My nails ain't done. What you talking about? I'm not coming outside like that. Why do you want a woman? Why do you want to go on a date with somebody who don't look right? I don't know. Maybe because you're supposed to keep yourself up and come to the date, and that's how we're supposed to move forward. So, like I said, one, you did too much. One, you didn't do enough. Either way, probably not your fault in those two scenarios. But women, please, you got to start internalizing this shit, and you got to start becoming more self-aware about the things that you say to people, the way you treat people, because nobody wants to be treated like that. No man wants to be treated like a trick, unless he's a trick. Now say that. Say the game is fucked up. Now, I would appreciate it if the women came, if you have something more to say, come in and say, yo, Richie, you sound nuts, my nigga, because the game is fucked up, because there's a lot of niggas doing that. There's a lot of niggas doing that. There's a lot of niggas who want to go out with chicks and they want to leave with their pockets, they want to leave with their wallets, and that's what they want to do. But my thing for you is you need to vet them niggas better. Because don't come at me like that and think that I'm him. You need to do your due diligence and have a real conversation. And you need to get on your fucking psychoanalysis and be able to analyze who's who and what's what. Because you coming at a nigga like me, talking about baby $500 so I can take you to dinner is going to offend me. It's going to offend me.
Rex, let me ask you something. And I touched on this last week. Again, I'm not in the dating world. So even when I'm listening to you as a man, I'm so like, yo, this can't be life, right?
Yeah. Just
hear me out. Hear my question. Are the women coming at you because you're you and they think you got it? Or are they coming at Joe Schmo? And because I can't imagine a woman asking a regular dude for $500 to get my hair done, to get my nails done, for babysit. That's even me as a man. I'm like, well, maybe this is a certain type of woman who's looking for a certain type of man. This ain't the regular average Joe woman out there who's doing this. Are you sure this is just not the women who are coming after rich dollars?
Okay. I said my man told me this.
Yeah, but your man, you hang with rich friends. You hang with people with money.
Not this one. Well, I mean, he's got money. He might even be a six-figure dude. He might be a six-figure dude, but he is the regional manager at Staples. Played ball with me in college. My man for years. The regional manager of Staples. He got about 5 or 6 stores, and that's what he does. He goes all around the places, Staples, and makes sure everything is good. So he might even make 6 figures, but it ain't no situation where he pulling up and leading with his wallet. He's not that fella. So this is a very, 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 I would venture to say, regular person scenario, a regular person problem. This is women. What's that noise? I don't know what that was, but it's a regular person scenario. So no, it's not no TV shit. It's not no bad boy shit, musical shit, entertainment shit. This is regular person shit. This girl came to this man.
Okay, you answered the question. I want to go somewhere else for a second, so bear with me. Is it, we obviously, based on your conversation, based on what you had to say, it is a such thing as too early to be asking somebody for anything monetary. You know, get my hair done, get my nails done, this, that. When would you say when is a good time in a relationship that a woman can feel comfortable asking for whatever it might be?
I'm glad you asked that. That goes back to me when men and women get angry with men for saying, what are you bringing to the table? When men ask that, it's because women are too early asking for things and acting entitled, to which now a man is asking what, and now the relationship just became transactional. See, if you move too quickly, the relationship will become transactional. Because if you ask me for something prematurely and I respond by, what are you bringing to the table, which in essence means, what am I getting for my money? The relationship is now transactional. Because now it's quid pro quo. Why don't you get to know each other, show a person your worth, show a person who you are, show a person how dope you are, and that person will want his girl to look good. He will want his girl's nails to be done. He will want all those things. It's not a time stamp. I can't tell you it's 2 weeks because everybody's different. But if we're kicking it and we're hanging out and we're liking each other, and I'm starting to feel you, and the energy and the vibrations are good, I'm gonna want you to be happy, and I'm gonna want you to eat good, and I'm gonna want you to drink good, and I'm gonna want you to look good. But on the first date, when you coming to me, you coming at me like a trick, so I'm gonna treat you like a whore, because a whore and a trick are synonymous. They go together. They go together. So you treat me like a whore, and you treat me like a trick, and I'm gonna treat you like a whore. But if you get to know me and hang out with me and there's no entitled behavior, then I'm going to want to do for you. We've been saying this for years, Sean. Since we've been on this fucking podcast, we've been having the same conversation. And I remember it like yesterday. I've always said there's a sense of loyalty that goes into relationships. Once you start creating that loyalty, that man will want to do for you because he's loyal to you and he wants you to be happy. He wants you to look good. There's an energy, there's a vibration. You got to get to that point. For some people, it might be 2 weeks. For some people, it might be 2 months. But you got to do it. And when you get there, you'll know it. When you get there, you'll know it. And you can't prematurely start asking niggas for shit, because now, one or two things. The nigga's going to say to himself, I got it. You ask me for $500 for your hair and your nails? Cool, say less. I got it. But I'm about to smut you out. I'm about to smut you out. So don't get angry with me, and don't look and act like, why am I being treated like this? Why niggas don't respect me when you don't respect yourself? And that's the problem with women now. They don't respect themselves, because transactional relationships, and listening to these women on the radio, and you're listening to these people on the freaking generic ass podcast and all this other bullshit that people are out here saying, is giving this is creating the narrative, and it's normalizing that behavior. It's normalizing it. So if you want to go on the internet and you want to scroll and find women who say that they deserve that, and they deserve $500, and they deserve that a babysitter should be, that should be your responsibility on the first date, then you can go find that. You can find it. You can find anything on the internet. You can find it all. But if you want to go and subscribe to that, or you can go on the whole other left field and you can start doing red pill Andrew Tate shit, and you with that being said, it's all out there. But you have to make decisions based on how you know and you grow up and you know what's right and what's wrong. And asking a man for $500 to get your nails and your hair done, that's wrong. Unless you just want to say, this is transactional. But a nigga's not going to respect a transactional relationship. It might last. It might be cool. You might both get what you want. And if that's the case, then who am I to tell you how to live your life and be happy? But it ain't going to be a real relationship. And that's all I'm saying.
Okay, got you. It's a couple of points I want to touch on. We started out this conversation. Let's just narrow it down to ghosting. You know, you and I feel almost unqualified to have this conversation because it's a whole different world out there, right? But I'll speak from my standpoint nonetheless.
Hold on, before you even go there, real quick. Do you realize that there's a whole thing about women just going out to dinner so they can eat?
Yes.
Like that's a whole real thing now, that women are not interested in men, have no desire to be with them, but they just want to go out to dinner because it's a free meal, it's a free steak or a lobster or whatever the case may be. That falls in line with what I'm saying. But go ahead.
And that's probably where the disconnect with me is, right? I know, you know, I know, and I forget what it's called because there's a whole name behind that the women are just going out just to have a free meal. But I think it would be presumptuous, at the very least, to think that is a large population of women and what they're doing. I think that there are women who do that. I think that there are women who have no problem asking a man for something monetary, and we don't even know each other. Do I believe that is the general populace? No, I don't. And I could just be so far removed that I got it all wrong. But I'm not gonna lump all women in the same category, and I'm not gonna generalize and think that because your man got asked for $500 that this is the way most women are coming at dudes. I can't even compute that. So number one, if you are a woman, and I'm still a man, if you are a woman and you feel comfortable asking a man for anything too early, I couldn't agree with you more. And I think women need to really listen to this, and they need to have heard what you said. The relationship in a man's head instantly becomes transactional. We don't even know each other yet. We ain't slept together yet. I couldn't tell you your middle name. I couldn't tell you 3 things about you outside of what you're wearing today. We don't know each other. And you already are asking for something, whatever that something might be. Even if you ask for it, not in an entitled way, but you just slip it in there. From a man's standpoint, the relationship then becomes transactional. I see through you. I've seen you before. And now I know what it is. So understand, if I give this to you, you automatically know what this relationship is. And even if I don't tell you, this is the way I'm moving forward with how I treat you. So I couldn't agree with you more on that. Richie, you back?
Yes.
Okay.
People were saying
so
my connection was bad, so yeah.
Okay. I couldn't agree with you more on that point that you made. Asking for something too early, from a man's standpoint, it becomes transactional and you get immediately what you get. But I guess I'm a regular dude, Rich. And to me, when a nigga start ghosting you, the easy answer is, yo, he was trying to get in your pants. He was trying to get something out of you. You didn't give it to him, and he gave you the deuces. That's the easy answer. Another easy answer is, to your point, he got somebody at home. This for him, he was stepping out. He thought that you could be something on the side. You wasn't moving as quick as he would like. And before he blew up his own spot, yo, let me go to somebody else who gonna be down with the program a lot quicker. That's another easy. But this is where, to your point, and I want to touch on, you know, Rich, there are times when people come legitimately to you, right? Legitimately. And they might ask you, and these are people you love, and they might ask you to borrow some money. And those types of conversations, those uncomfortable conversations, sometimes it's just easy to avoid them, as opposed to being like, and this might truly be somebody you love. Even if you have the money, you might be like, damn, I just lent this person, I just paid for this bill, I don't have it. But you don't want to break this person. They barely come to you. It's a hard conversation to have. So you avoid it. And it's no different in relationships when you're getting to know somebody. And this is before y'all cross that line. It's before y'all have been intimate in any way. Sometimes telling people, we just don't have chemistry. Every time I get on the phone with you, you say something that just irks the hell out of me. Your political stance are completely different than mine. Your ethics are completely different than mine. You look sweet, but every other word out your mouth is a curse word. You seem like you're a good girl, but every time you open your mouth, you remind me of every one of those women that have either done something to break my heart. You remind me of exes that I can't stand. Like, some conversations are just difficult to have. And instead of having it, a man would just be like, yo, you on block. She'll get the picture after a while. She'll get the message. And at that point, I just think it's important. This is for all people. But at that point, you really need to assess yourself. And you really need to assess how you are presenting yourself. Because it's not always the dude. Yeah, the dude might be a sucker because he didn't man up and just tell you, yo, you cute, but I don't like nothing about you. Like everything about you is a turn.
Yeah, that's
like
real thing. That's
real talk. Because I've been in that situation. I'm literally speaking from past experience. When you meet somebody and everything about them, it's just a turn off. But we don't even know each other like that. So instead of me just coming out and hurting your feelings, or me having a conversation that's so deep, so early, I'll just avoid you altogether. And eventually you get the message. So I think people get ghosted for a number of reasons. But irregardless, I think it's always a good thing to look in the mirror and say, yo, did I do something? And sometimes it can be as simple as no. No, this dude, maybe he got somebody on the side. But the other times you might find that you're the reason he showed so much interest in you in the beginning. You are the reason why.
Damn, did we lose you?
Me?
My thing is this. Being self-aware doesn't mean looking in the mirror and creating excuses for why niggas didn't do what you wanted them to do. Or in a man's point of view, being self-aware is not looking in the mirror and trying to conjure up reasons why they didn't do what you wanted them to do that wouldn't make it your fault. See, that's what people that's what people do wrong. When people look in the mirror and they be like, oh yeah, I'm self-aware, I know blah, 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 blah. No, you're not. You just look in the mirror and you create scenarios in your mind which you're never wrong. You're never wrong because you just create why it's always somebody else's fault. Nah, that's not self-aware. Self-aware is looking in the mirror and being like, damn, maybe I messed that up. Maybe I did this to mess that up. That's how you get better. That's how you get better and improve yourself. Creating scenarios in which is never your fault so you can be mad at niggas is never going to be helpful. That's not helpful. And I feel like a lot of people do that now. But like I said, you know, I don't think it's that I don't think it's that you say, oh, I'm a regular dude. I don't think it's that. I think that you got out of this fucking dating game at the right time, bro. I think that you just found what you wanted and she found what she wanted and y'all are happily ever after. And you're blessed by the grace of God. You're not playing in this pissy dating pool. Because as much as I would like to say, you're right, Sean. There are a lot of girls out there who aren't like that. I would venture to say those tides are turning, Sean. And I say that, and it's not because of any other reason other than day-to-day conversation with different types of people. There used to be a time where the majority of women were good women, and this is how they live their lives. And you could be like, okay, so if I'm finding this type of woman, then maybe I need to go and figure it out. The tides are turning, my friend. Those women on that side are becoming the majority, and the good woman is becoming extinct, bro. Fucking find a panda in Arizona. I swear to God, it's gonna be hard. Go find you a panda in Arizona. It's probably impossible, right? Like, it's impossible. It's getting like that. It's getting like that. You can go major cities. You can be like, oh, they're not like that. No, you can go everywhere from Atlanta to Houston to DC to Charlotte to New York City to LA to Chicago to San Francisco. They're all like that. Dallas. The tides are turning, friend. The tides are turning, and you are in a great place. I tell you this all the time. You jumped out, and you jumped out when at the right time.
You know, I hope you're wrong, Rich. I really do. Truth be told, but if it's really that nasty out there, because here's the crazy thing, Rich. We do a show speaking to women from the minds of a man, right? And we hear women all the time talk about there ain't no good men out there. There ain't no good men. Where can I find the good men at? Where are all the good men at? I don't think women understand that is the conversation that's happening with men all over the globe every day of the week. Like y'all are constantly wondering where are the good men, and the men are sitting around like, yo, I'm a good man and I can't find a good woman. And it's crazy to think that in a world where good men, good women want to find each other, there is so much garbage in the middle. Nobody can seem to find the right partner no more. It's insane, but women, trust me when I tell y'all, I know a lot of good dudes. I do. I know a lot of good dudes right now, hardworking. They done been out there. They done did it. They tired of the game. What they want, I want my queen. I want somebody I could come home to, I could share my day with, and I promise you, men are literally having this conversation every day of the week. I can't find a good one. I cannot find a good. And then when you think you got a good one, she pull a stunt that just make you feel as though everything out there is the same. Like, what's the point? What is the point? So it's just crazy because women, y'all think y'all the only ones having this conversation. That ain't true. Men are having this conversation in record numbers. And I'm telling you, crazy. Okay, next topic, you got more?
Nah, I'm good.
Rich?
Let's go.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I want you to tell me if y'all can hear this.
Most women see men as disposable.
I don't think it's that women are seeing men as disposable as much as I think it's that women are starting to see men as optional because they're finding so much richness and fulfillment in their own lives. Women aren't waiting on men to travel and see the world. They aren't waiting on men to buy houses or any other major milestone in their lives. And if a man is going to come along into their lives, he has to offer them more than what they have to offer for themselves. He has to bring more to the table besides his wallet because she doesn't need his money. And historically, that's all a lot of men have had to bring, and that's all they've really prioritized is I can provide for a woman, but women can provide for themselves. So they want you to come with emotional maturity and monogamy and, you know, so many other different things. They want you to be able to add to their lives, and they're a lot more selective because they have the power of options. They can turn a man down because they know that another one is going to come along, and a lot of men can't handle it.
Most women see men as disposable.
I don't think it's that women are seeing men as disposable as much as I think it's that women are starting to see men as optional because they're finding so much richness and fulfillment in their own lives. Women aren't waiting on men to travel and see the world. They aren't waiting on men to buy houses or any other major milestone in their lives. And if a man is going to come along into their lives, he has to offer them more than what they have to offer for themselves. He has to bring more to the table besides his wallet because she doesn't need his money. And historically, that's all a lot of men have had to bring, and that's all they've really prioritized is I can provide for a woman, but women can provide for themselves. So they want you to come with emotional maturity and monogamy and, you know, so many other different things. They want you to be able to add to their lives, and they're a lot more selective because they have the power of options. They can turn a man down because they know that another one is going to come along, and a lot of men can't handle it.
Most women see men as disposable.
Did you hear that loud and clear?
Unfortunately.
Floor is yours, Rich.
The paradox being, in one breath, you want men to bring something to the table that's more than their wallet, but in the next breath, they have to be able to come and bring things that that's going to be better than what you already can do for yourself. There used to be a time when there weren't two extremes. Like there's a whole life in the middle of what you find someone, you like them, you build with them, you want to be with them, they make you happy, yada, yada, yada. Now it's everything is so far extreme. It's like you can't come with money and lead with that, but yet you nobody's perfect. Like I don't even know what to say about Shorty because like I don't know that she's wrong in a lot of ways, but she's so wrong in a lot of ways. The relationships of today are so there's no bending, there's no finding someone who just makes you happy. Everything is some outside shit that has to be attributed to, he has to come with this and he has to be able to take me on trips, or if I can provide. And the key word of this whole shit is men are disposable and men are optional and we can do what we want to do. Okay, well let's see how that works out for you when you're 50 years old looking for something. See, people get this whole thing mixed up and they get it misconstrued in the moment because you can do what you can do in the moment. Everybody can do what they can do in the moment, but we don't build relationships. The whole word build is predicated on the future. That's what building is. Building a relationship is the future. It's building for tomorrow. That's what it is. Nobody builds an apartment overnight. Nobody builds a condominium building overnight. Nobody builds a relationship overnight. There are things that you do in a relationship that you have to give and take. Building is so when you're older and you're more mature and you want to have a family, you have somebody to have it with. So now all the women that got it and they want to go on trips and they don't need men, this falls back into the whole Kevin Samuels or the red pill. See how that works out for you when you're 35, 40 and you're expired, you're fucking sour milk. See how that works out for you then. Ain't that what the niggas will tell you? See how that works? And we try not to do that on here. But the reality is that's a reality. So don't come and talk about what you can do for yourself, what you can do, who you are, how many trips you can take. Men are optional. You can go get another one. They like apples on a tree, yada, yada, yada. Cool. Then let's see how that works out for you when you're 40 years old and you're sitting in the house watching fucking Law and Order SVU, eating bonbons by yourself with your homegirl. And you're taking trips with your friends. And no nigga who wants you because you're old and washed. That's what happens in this. And that goes for, I don't know, man. This shit is just starting to really bother me, bro. This really starting to bother me. But go ahead, man, go ahead.
Well, you know, obviously you're bothered. I was waiting to get your feedback on that, and you couldn't even get your thoughts together. So after I speak, hopefully you can get it together.
Yeah, please.
But I think, you know, truth be told, if this is what the relationship world looks like, it sucks, man. It sucks because, yes, traditionally, men have placed value on their wallet. That's true. Since the beginning of time, before there was currency as we know it, dollar bills, coins, whatever they were trading back in the days, you know, men wanted to be the alpha male. I bring more to the table than the next guy. So notice me. That is part of the animal kingdom. We get it. Whether you're looking at birds flapping their bright feathers, you're looking at apes and gorillas and flexing their muscle. So at the beginning of the time, it's been men have been the providers. And they have been required. The guy with the most money got the best looking girl. But conversely, you know, women, it's been about beauty. You were raised to be a woman. You were raised to be beautiful. And the most beautiful woman got the captain of the football team. She got the guy with the most money. She married the basketball player. That's life. But I think what bothers me in all of this, and I don't know where this world is going, bro. When did love and relationships become optional? Like it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how beautiful you are. We're human beings. Like, people need people. The goal in this life is to find somebody who's compatible with you, who can match your crazy, who got the same interests, who got the same chemistry. And when I hear things like that, the thing that I'm most alarmed about is that any woman, despite what she makes, would look at a man, despite what he makes, as optional. Because I don't believe. Look, nobody want to die alone. I ain't met nobody yet who's old and gray and is happy, you know, being in that crib, looking at their final days alone. And I think if this is what, you know, I don't know that I have much to contribute outside of saying whether it's men or women. When did having a good person by your side, irregardless of their bank account, irregardless of anything. When did that become optional? And that sucks, man. I think that this week for me is a disappointing week because some of the topics we touching on, like I'm disheartened by it. Real talk.
But so you just essentially articulated what I was trying to articulate.
Oh, is that
Now,
where you were going?
that's where I was going. But now that I'm a little bit calmer, I can what you just what's to me what's so discouraging about this whole dating world now is what we've been talking about. Like you said, all the way down to the last thing you said was this: I'm having a bad week because this is just a bunch of bad topics. So now we talked about how transactional relationships. Now we're talking about disposable. Now we're talking about optional. Now we're talking about competitive nature of people. Like, do you understand? Like, I just went through 4 or 5 things of why relationships don't work anymore. Like, and none of which had anything to do with how relationships were built or what we know or what people, like how your grandmother, your mother's relationship was built. Like, so that just goes to my point that, Sean, we're living in another world. So even if you have the woman who says, I'm not asking nobody for $500, you have the woman that she feels like men are optional. You understand what I'm saying? So even if you're not her, so somebody on here is like, that ain't me. That ain't me. I ain't never gonna be that person. Nobody gotta give me $500 to do my nails and shit. I'm an independent one. Yeah, but your mindset becomes that other woman's mindset. So now if you start to piggyback all these different mindsets together, it gives you where we are in the dating world. So now it's where you're right. Not every woman is looking for transactional relationships. You're right. Not every woman, but there's the old school relationship is so far gone now because there are so many different avenues for which women are going down, that the old traditional thing that was the root of the happiness, finding someone who makes you happy. Like every week we come on here, bro, there's a woman who don't want to date a bus driver. There's a man who led with his wallet. There's a woman who asked for $500. They gaslight you in the club. We talk about the girls who just hop from table to table. What the fuck? Okay. So now, am I supposed to be okay with just one of them? So I got to just pick out of them. I got to pick out of them. Because the woman who just wants to meet you, who likes you, who wants to hang out with you, like I said in the last segment, she's becoming extinct, bro. She's becoming extinct. And it is depressing. It is depressing. So don't think that you're different than anybody else. If we having this conversation, it is depressing. Because you can't.
No, this is usually you and I on here, we're laughing, but this is a disheartening conversation that we're having. It's interesting, and it's time now that we open up the phone lines. But before we do, you know, Tyrese is you know, he's a guy who you can not take serious very easy. You can overlook because of his shenanigans and his antics and his episodes. It's easy to look past the substance of what's driving this man today. This man's heart is truly broke. Like I ain't in no relationship with Tyrese. I have no illusions that Tyrese cannot be easy to date and definitely not be easy to be married to. Like I got no illusions.
Facts.
But he is essentially arguing the same point of the topic of this tonight's conversation. I went into my marriage with my whole heart. And I found out somewhere in the middle that it wasn't love. It was a transaction. And his mind is blown. This man can't think of nothing else. Every other post on his feed is about, I'm in disbelief. And people are not hearing the message because it's coming from the wrong messenger. If his message had come from anybody else that was a little more sane and a little less erratic, it would be a topic of conversation on every talk show, on every podcast, on every radio show. But it's easy to dismiss it because and I don't want to call it a gripe, but he has substance behind what he is now OCD about, because he can't think about nothing else. The only thing he's literally, I actually like the record. You dropped the record. Like, is this love or is it a transact? Like, I like the record. Tyrese is a talented brother.
Yeah.
But unfortunate, his message is being lost because it's just coming from the wrong messenger. But you can finish off and we'll go into the phone line.
Nah, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. I just think that there's good women out there, and nobody's gonna pretend that there isn't. But the level of which it used to be is just different. It's just it's not what it used to be. And however people want to take that, you can take it. Lynn Marie Palmer. We're gonna start with Lynn Marie Palmer. This is the first.
All right. In the meanwhile, please, if you're jumping on, have good lighting, have good Wi-Fi, be willing to show yourself and have a question.
So let's go back. Try this again. Uh-oh. What is my thing doing? Requested you. Okay. Miss Eyes. Miss Eyes. Come on, don't do this to me, Instagram. Oval the comedian. Oval the comedian.
Shout to Oval.
All right, so now here we are with the same bullshit.
This is why we're getting off this platform, for the same reason.
Amina was in here. Where's Amina Butterfly? I'm gonna try Oval again. Not allowing me to bring in people.
Make sure everybody's X'd out.
I just X'd them out just now. All right. She on fire. Okay, she on fire. Send me a request. She on fire. I'm gonna see, because it's not.
Good evening, guys.
Okay, there you go. Somebody. What's up? What's your name?
Amanda. I'm from Boston, the city that you love so much.
Oh yeah, I'm a big Boston fan.
My question for you guys tonight, I love the topics that y'all have, but my question is, when are we going to recognize that men are human beings too, and men have feelings as well? It's not just women, and we're not just emotional creatures. Men have feelings too. When are we actually going to recognize that and not just put them in a box, and just make it seem like, like when you was being passionate earlier, Rich, men do have that. Women do have that. We have emotions and feelings. We can express that, but men are human beings too. And I feel like once we recognize that and bring that to the table and bring each other up to where our emotional quotient matches the logical quotient, then we can actually move forward together. We're like in extreme lack in so many different things, but we have to recognize that men are human too, and men do have feelings. They're just not big bags of money, and because that whole $500 off the rip, that's
That whole
that's
what?
weird.
That whole what?
That whole $500 like off the rip to get your hair and your nails done, that's a lot. And that's me being a 40-year-old woman with 2 kids, for me, that's a lot. I have to know you for a while before I'm like comfortable to even ask you. And even then, do you need me to put money in the gas tank? I got $40. I got $60. You need gas? Like I like to contribute. I like to help out because that's how I was raised. But not every woman is like me. You know what I'm saying? But we have to recognize that men are human beings as well, you know?
Okay, so I have a question for you. When do you think that this disconnect became so prevalent in the dating world? When do you think, like, is it a generational thing? Like, you're a woman, you're a 40-year-old woman, so you're younger than me and Sean. So you're like in between, I guess, the younger generation, the young 30, you know, but you're not 48 years old either. So when did this disconnect come? Like, what day did you just wake up and be like, this shit is upside down?
I would say the disconnect came. Wow. I would say the disconnect came once we actually realized when we became adults and we have to go out in life and actually do this on our own, and we have to find a partner. And we didn't have that example at home. And this is like from like the 80s, crack cocaine, all that, going into all of that. That's where I believe that's where the disconnect literally began, you know. And then people will say, you know, the government had the whole thing with Section 8, welfare, social services, all of that other stuff. But I believe the disconnect like literally began in the 80s.
So you think with the demise of the black man? Well, the black man's always been in demise, but you think it was back in the day with
demise of the black man,
but governmental empowering women that's made this shit transactional?
I believe it's the demise of the black family as a total. It's not just the black man, demise of the black woman, masculinity over femininity. It's not about all of that. It's really just keeping it separate and just not really just having that understanding to understand why we need to be together. That's just one thing, you know. I will always feel like the more that we're separated and the more that we have these divisive conversations, it'll just drive a wedge to just push us further away. And that mindset will literally keep you boxed in. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Sean about to say something. I can see it in his face. Oh, man.
Sean, you was going to say something?
No, I wasn't going to say anything. I was waiting for you. Then I'll jump in.
Nah, go ahead.
What's your name again? Amanda?
Yes.
Yeah. You called in last week or the week before. You were impressive then. You're impressive tonight. Good job.
Thank you.
So that's first and foremost. I don't know that I agree with you that that's what a disconnect. I mean, I feel like, you know, we live in a world with social media. We live in a world with reality TV. We live in a world with very over-sexualized music videos.
Oversharing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with a disconnect, women have been rewarded. Like women are being rewarded for, like, once upon a time, and I grew up in a world when rap was really getting off the ground, and I was deep into the music and into the culture and helping to move the culture. And I remember people like Shirley Chisholm and all of these Sister Soldier and all of these women who were leading the charge against holding male rappers accountable for the degradation of the black women, calling them out their name, making the black women feel like they are just degrading black women. You fast forward to 2023, nigga, you know, and God bless. I don't say this in a negative way, but you got ex strippers who are multimillionaires and telling you how to trick on men and then go get married. You got chicks who are the top of the rap game with songs like Pound Town, my coochie pink, my booty hole brown. They're being rewarded. You know, the same thing, Rich. It's your world, nigga. Some of the women who have men who have come into reality TV, nigga. You don't stay on reality TV season over season because you're a nice person and you got good conversation. You stay because you bring the drama. You stay because you are willing to show your ass and put it all out there. When the world got rewarded, I think that's when the disconnect happened, because now young girls are looking and saying, this is, and to your point, Amanda, if you didn't grow up in a two-family loving household, and now you looking at the chicks, you looking at the chicks who are on the yachts, you looking at the chicks who got millions and millions of Instagram followers because they put out a sex tape and
And is it Sean's page?
And he talk about have good Wi-Fi and a good connection, and here he go.
Yeah. Sean, your Wi-Fi is terrible, bro.
And it always happened when he
On one, right? He be on one.
Instagram be hate, and I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, yo, but
Is
let me
this
not
Instagram though? I don't even know if we can blame this one on IG. I think because this nigga still, he gone now. He gone.
But he's right though. Like the whole thing with Sexy Red and Suki Hana and all of them. Don't get me wrong. They're beautiful, but the agenda that they're pushing is disgusting.
They're not beautiful.
To me,
Not
they
beautiful.
are, but
They're
they're
not.
pushing the wrong thing. They pushing.
You gotta be, to be beautiful. Let me see if Sean back.
Okay.
He's not.
Oh,
To be
man.
beautiful, beautiful is more than how you look. And I don't know that those girls are lookers either. But to be beautiful is more than that. Like, to be beautiful, like, is to be respectable, to be like, not that like, to me, a beautiful girl is never gonna be crawling on the floor at an award show. A beautiful girl is not gonna be talking about my booty hole brown and my pussy pink. Like, that's not what beautiful girls do. Like, that's what trashy girls do. That's what girls who, you know what I mean? And then we look at people, damn, Sean ain't back yet. And then we look at people and it's like, how can you be, it's, yo, listen, it's what's popular. And it's you can't, and I've taken responsibility. Like, people be like, oh, well, nigga, you on the worst of it worse. Loving hip hop, well, y'all. I've taken responsibility for that. But at the same time, it's on another level now. The shit that Zeus is doing, the baddie shit, like, come on. Like, come on. Like, and this is what people, like, social media's, like, and social media makes these people stars. Like, they make these people stars. It's like the dumbest shit you can do will make you a star. Like, the records are, it's crazy. It's crazy. But damn, I hate that.
For my daughters and my nieces and my cousins too, you gotta have some modesty about yourself. The world shouldn't know the colors of your navigators. They really shouldn't, you know, because that's only for you to know. And also, I was raised by old Southern people where children were basically seen, not heard. Where I was raised, you had to be of a certain age and of a certain season to be able to sit in the living room with the grown folks. That's how I was raised. Now
it's a different day.
Big Mama gone, Pappy gone, and before great grandma died, she said, "Go and travel the world. You can always have babies." So it's like, it's all of these different messages, and how can you really navigate that? Your mama raised you, your daddy been out here, your daddy a Rolling Stone. So it's really a lot. But one thing I find for myself, once I began to humanize my parents and really understand the human beings that they were before they created me. That gave me so much understanding as far as to why they are the way they are, the events in their lives that shaped them, and plus how they didn't necessarily know how to love me, but they knew that they had to provide better for me because they already been through the worst and they didn't want that for me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times being a parent, you have to, some of the things that you didn't have, you got to give that to your children, even though you didn't have that yourself. And even though that's like a double entendre, how can you give what you don't have? You still got to find a way because you know that there's better out there. You know, you have to provide that better. You have to show your children that better. Because mind you, all the stuff that's out here, like we got the trap music, the drill music, and all this other stuff. I literally put my daughters on trap mathematics, drill multiplications, so they know their numbers, they know how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide at a heartbeat. Like there's a lot of different things that you could do. You can provide love in your home outside of the verbal. It's how you talk to each other. It's how you express love for each other. It's what you do literally for each other. And one thing I feel that's missing in the dating pool, outside of the factor of we don't do that for ourselves, we don't have that self-care element. We're looking for somebody to do that for us. And then it's like, if you don't do that for yourself, you're not going to attract that.
Got it.
Like you said earlier, like, you know, how you going to have a chick that you just met literally coming out of rainbows and she's talking about she wants $500. And it's just like, I don't even know your first or last name or your cell phone number, but you want money out of me. Like, how does that make sense?
No,
And then
I
it's
agree.
like when you say things like that, you're right. They do get angry and they try to belittle you, gaslight you.
Yeah, they
It's
gaslight.
like they're asking me for money.
But that's the tactic though. Like, and that's what niggas fall in line with. Niggas fall in line with the tactic. But Sean, go ahead. What you were saying? You remember what you were saying?
Yeah, because you cut off and you was on point, man.
I don't even remember, but I know the last point that I was making is can y'all hear me? Okay, I know the last point that I was making, and I just was feeling it. So, you know, nigga, like you got the shining examples to women today. I mean, you got a girl who put out a sex tape, had Ray J in it, and her whole family became billionaires. So why wouldn't I act like why wouldn't I look at relationships a certain way if everybody who is
Come
what's
on,
the
Sean.
I get what he's saying, though. I get what he's saying.
am I out again?
Work for yeah.
Just
you
came back.
Okay, I'm just saying if everybody who is going counter what tradition is are the ones who seem to be winning, then why wouldn't I act like that if I'm a young, impressionable man or woman? This is what relationships, to me, that's where the disconnect has come in. And it's, truth be told, it ain't cool as it once was to be on the gram and talking about I found my queen. Nah, like that don't sell. I found my king. That don't sell.
I'm not gonna go into detail about it. Remy and Pap have been all over the blogs so much in the last few days. We all acknowledge Black Love from the show, but that was never, and you just hit it on the nose, Sean, and made me think of that. That shit boring. You niggas would rather watch Blueface and Chris Sean than watch Remy and Pap until Remy and Pap is acting like Blueface and Chris Sean.
Talk that talk,
Crazy.
Rick.
But anyway, Boston, we're gonna let you go. I'm gonna let somebody else in here.
All right. Have a
All
good
right,
night.
mama.
Thank-
We'll see you next week.
Sure. Thank you.
Who else we gonna bring in? Riri. I keep seeing Riri saying, add me. Where are you at? There's a lot of people in here tonight. Good God. Shit. All right, we're gonna go. All right, I can't find you, Riri. Send me a request.
Make sure you X Amanda out.
I did. I had to
Okay.
get her.
Welcome back, guys.
What up? What
What
up?
up? What up?
Hey. So I just wanted to piggyback off of the conversation that was being had real quick before I throw my question in there. I feel like it's not only social media that has changed the dating world or the dating pool. I feel like it's anything artificial intelligence, period. Like, down to if you call, like for your, it used to be a time where if you call customer service, you actually get a person and your relationship with the company that you was dealing with was personal. Now everything is automated. You barely get a person when you call for any type of service, whether it's your phone bill, etc., etc. Everything is automated. Then they changed a lot of things with COVID, because now everything is virtual. You got Zoom meetings. You could literally get a job online and do your interview online. There's nothing personal. They have taken away human contact. They've made human contact awkward and weird. Like, that's why you got dudes, if they holler at a girl in the street and she reject them, they want to punch her in the face or bust her in the head because they don't know how to take rejection, because human to human contact is damn near non-existent in most part of your day if you so choose. They got stay at home.
Let me interject. So you're saying that this is a 4 or 5 year old problem? Because you talk about AI. AI just got here yesterday.
No, because that's not the start of you calling customer service and not actually speaking to a person, or going down to the train station and purchasing a Metro card and not dealing with a machine, or going to McDonald's and instead of you placing the order with the person, they pointing you to the kiosk on the side. Like, there is no person to person. Like, they're dehumanizing us. They making us not care about each other. Like, human contact is important. Like, and they are removing it. That's why when people are getting beat up in the street, people are able to pull out their phone and record it. Like, there was a time where if two people was fighting in the street and there was adults around, they would break it up. Now people pulling out their phone and recording, and if adult get involved with these teenagers, the teenagers would turn around and beat up the adult. There was a time where you respected your elders and you didn't put your hands on grown or older people. Like, there's a dehumanization going on. There's a disconnect going on, and it's not. Social media is a major part of it, but it doesn't just start with that. It starts with the human to human contact, down to your job, down to, like I said, customer service. Like, how many you are a businessman, how many business situations do you handle on a regular basis where you have to be in front of the person? 9 times out of 10, I'm sure you can deal with it over the phone, virtually, Zoom meeting, etc., Skype. You don't even, people shoot videos now, they don't even ever be in the same room together. They shoot their scenes over here, somebody shoot their scenes over here, and they digitally drop y'all together and make you look like you in the same. There's, even with music collaboration, there's no human to human contact. That is the problem. They are dehumanizing us. It makes you not care about, it makes you care less about a person.
You know what, SB? That made a lot of sense. So let me just give you this. The dehumanization of the person is why women and men no longer feel the desire to be coupled, to be relationship, to be like our parents, is because that's why you feel like it's so easy.
Uncool to crave human connection. Like, God like, and biblically speaking, God created Eve because Adam was alone and he felt like, and he needed a helpmate. So God created Eve. So from the beginning of time, you were created to connect with another person, but somehow, some way, everybody is self-made, and I did it by myself, and it's the team of me, and I'm a one-man army. No, reality, like Prez said, people need people. It takes all types of people to make the world go round. Smart people, not so smart people. Like, everybody can't be a boss. If everybody was a boss, then who would take your order when you go to the restaurant? Somebody got to be the receptionist. Somebody got to take the order. Somebody got to cook the food. Like, it takes the whole thing to make the world go round. But everybody is on this mission of self because of this technology. Everything, we are all right now, we got 215 people in the room, and 3 of us are sitting here on this live in totally different places. We didn't have to set up cameras and all sit in a room together and to make this podcast happen. And they tune in every Wednesday at 7:30 like clockwork, virtually, because this is the era that we in. But it takes away the human connection. When you're not dealing with people, when you're not engaging with people, that's why solitary confinement is unhuman and not natural, because you are supposed to mix and blend with people. Like, you will go insane in solitary confinement because you were made and created to mix and blend and interact with people.
SBUs, that's borderline, because that was deep. That was deep tonight. SB, Sean, what do you think? What are you thinking?
SB, I think it's one of those conversations that I love to have on this show. I think that your insight is so on point and so dope. And I was thinking, I got it from the minute that you were talking. And really, it just comes down to technology. Technology has really messed this world up. I can think back to when we were children. I was a big video game player. But if I wanted to play with my friends, I had to go to their house. If I had the cartridge, they came to my house. Now, everything is online. Like, my son will play with somebody on the other side of the world. We all went to the park. That was a big part of our life. Played basketball. Like, the kids they're not doing, and even right down to the dating. And I learned this being on this show, talking to you, Rich. I didn't realize that good women slipping in their DMs was not offensive. Like, that's the way people date now. That's the way you meet. That's the way you get each other's attention. I come from the like, you had to have real game. You see a girl, and you better make sure your game was on par, because you might have 5 minutes to get a conversation and get a number and then call her. Now, people are doing it like, literally, I'm sliding into the DM, and 90% of us getting to know each other is done without ever picking up a phone. So you're absolutely right. I just believe technology has made human-to-human contact so awkward that maybe people truly don't even have the practice from damn near childhood on how do I socialize with the other sex. It is just great point, SB. Great point. What's your question?
So, I'm a woman of a certain age, and unfortunately, I'm in this pissy dating pool.
How old are you, young?
I'll be 40 in February.
40 in February, okay.
Look good for 40. Go ahead, SB. Damn. Okay.
So I'll be 40 in February. And, y'all talk to me. Y'all know I'm old school with it. But it seems like we talking about how the dating scene has changed and this is a whole new world than the one from before. So my question is, as a female who kind of likes to hold on to like my old school ways, and I like to be courted, I want to be approached. I'm not the aggressor or the type of female to like shoot my shot with a dude. Like I'm not that type of female. But with the way the world is going, should I become a little more aggressive with my approach? Should I take the initiative to plan a date? Like I don't want to, and I don't feel comfortable doing it. But I'm just saying, in this day and age, how things are going, is it such a bad idea to, try to get a little more aggressive with how I go about things?
Sean?
I don't think it has nothing to do with this day and age. I don't. I don't see anything wrong with, and I don't want to use the word aggressive because that sounds aggressive, but I don't think it's anything wrong with making your intentions known. I don't think it's anything wrong with being proactive, letting somebody know you're into them. Truthfully speaking, we just got through talking about and how awkward they are with other humans at this point. Sometimes dudes might not even know how to approach you. That don't mean that they don't like you, but they might not even know how to let you know I'm into you. And it's okay to make the first move. So I don't know if I would classify it as aggressive, but let's just settle on being proactive. And I don't think it's anything wrong with that, even if you have old school values. I got old school values, and I'm a dude who has a past. Men are men. Richard tell you, there's a lot of women that we have let go because we couldn't work the nerve up to let her know how we felt in that moment. Like yo, I'm interested, and we never got the opportunity again. And who knows, maybe that chick was just as interested in us as we were in them. So I don't think it's a bad thing at all.
I 100% agree. I think that in this day and age, you know what you like more than anybody else. And if you're out there and you are surveying the terrain and you're seeing what's out there, it might be easier for you to go get somebody, because especially when you're different. And I think, Yana, you pride yourself in being different than the normal person out there. So it might be way beneficial for you to actually go out there and find you a man who you think is compatible and knows what, because you know what you want, versus a man who's just playing around. Like, you might want to try to cut off half of that. Like, just, I'm gonna cut off half of that because these dudes will never have a chance with me. So why would I even entertain it? So let me just go to the pool in which I want to play. Let me play in the sandbox that I'm comfortable in, as opposed to just opening it up to the whole world and being like wasting my time. Because I feel like you know what you kind of want, and you kind of honed in on it. So yeah, that's how I feel. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you another thing, SB. Rich, I thought that you was gonna go down this road because you just tiptoed on it. But if you find somebody you're interested in, and he's different than what's out there, it's damn near in your best interest to make that first move, because them niggas is like unicorns, just like them girls is like unicorns in this day and age. Like, if I was in the game right now, I would not be waiting for like it ain't no time to wait. Like, I find that unicorn, it's like, baby girl, come, like, we need to talk, because I don't want somebody else out there who's looking for a good one to have half a chance when I got the chance in this moment. So if you see somebody and they move the right way and they acting right and they caught your attention and you watching them when they don't even know you watching and they present themselves like a good man, nigga, you really think you got time to be waiting on that nigga
I'm
to
sure.
hell no. It'll be another chick who step up.
Okay.
When you
I'm
feel that
picking
energy, you get that energy, girl, you better go get it. Go get your
Okay.
man, SB. All right, mama. Next week we do it again.
Look, welcome back, guys. I don't want no more 3-week breaks no more. Like, we can't be doing that. We had the people slide in my DM like, yo, where they at? I'm like, I don't know. Like,
Now we back. We
We
back.
back. We back. And SB, next week is our last week on Instagram. Help spread the word. We going over to YouTube. Everybody, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
I will put it
Next
in
week is
my
our last
story.
week.
Exactly.
I will put it in my story.
All right, mama.
Later, girl.
Later, y'all.
SB looking damn good for some 40. Good job, SB.
Erica McKenzie. I got so many people in this chat right now. It's gonna be difficult to whatchamacallit, Sean. I want to get new people on, but I know we talked to Erica before. Erica, what up?
Hey guys, I miss you all so much.
Oh, stop it.
So very much. I'm Erica / Tuki from Dakota, Atlanta. I got 3 weeks left in this contract, and I won't be calling from South Dakota no more. I promise. I want to touch a little bit on what we've been speaking about. I think from a different kind of perspective, I think that the decline really started with the era of the cell phone, in the sense of, you know, a man used to leave home and go to work. He used to be able to be with himself. His wife used to be able to be with the kids. But now if you get into an argument with your old lady, as soon as you walk out the door, she blowing your phone up till it go dead. And she has so much access to you that it doesn't give you the amount of time to really sit and think with whatever just happened. You can't always react to situations when it comes to a relationship right there in that very moment. And because we live in a time where everything is, let me pick up my phone, or I can do this, I can look at my house when I'm not there, I can see everything in real time. Like SB said, like, there's no, in addition to moving forward, there's no interaction between humans anymore. There's no way to feel a person. So yeah, you might feel awkward. Like, I don't know how to approach this girl. I don't know what to say. I do believe that the thing that should not, I do believe that the internet is also a cause, because there's just too much information. What I love about this platform is that you all interact with us. You try your best, even though IG be hating like a mug, you try your best to interact with us. And there's so many different podcasts and so many different platforms where all you're doing is listening to what people think about relationships and what they think about the role that a man should play, what they think about the role that a woman should play. And there's still no interaction. There's no dialogue. So you have people saying, okay, I need to go do therapy. Okay, cool. But then you have people that are, quote unquote, being therapists to people that they never even talk to. So it's like, what do I do? Do I ask this man for $500 because it worked for Young Miami? Do I not ask this man for $500? Like, what? Like, we live in a world where there's so much information and not enough time to digest that information, because everything is like this. Then it's like, well, what the fuck? But because I don't want to spend too much time, I know Sean don't like it when I do that. But my question is, moving aside from all of that, what would make a man pursue a woman over a period of time, however long that period of time is, get to know her and do all these things, and as they say, quote unquote, fumble? Like, why you come over here bothering me?
We had this conversation with you before. Shout out to my son Taylor that just joined in. I love it when my guy comes in, listens to me speak this fucking gospel. But yo, we had this conversation before. You the same motherfucker that wouldn't take a non-first-class flight. So now
on my
wonder.
Rich, it was my birthday. It was my birthday. Now, I'm not even gonna say that, because you're right, because you was right. I was the red flag, and I would take accountability. You're right.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna say you're right.
Dudes aren't perfect. Women aren't perfect, guys aren't perfect. Riri on fire. I swear to God, I'm gonna add you. Please stop asking. With that being said, the tolerance level, and it goes back to the video that girl put up. That was that woman that I can't remember. Sean played the video, and the video was of the woman, and she was like, dudes are disposable. Relationships are optional. So nobody even wants to put in the effort to do things. Now, I'm not saying that a woman or a man should put themselves in a position where you are now allowing people to disrespect you, but fumbling the bag today is a lot different. The tolerance today is so low. It's a lot different than back in the day. Like a dude could fumble a bag because he didn't do something that was so trivial. A woman could fumble the bag because she didn't do something that was so trivial. Because everybody is, like you said, there's multiple layers to this. There's so much access. People can reach out and talk to anybody. There's so many people in your DMs. There's so many people that are trying to holler, and there's so much access that you don't even feel like you need to work on this relationship that's right here in front of you, because the grass is always greener. The grass is always greener on the other side, and you can always find another so-and-so, and you can always do this, you can always do that. So this dude right here who just did the most trivial thing and didn't bring you flowers for the 33rd day in a row, you cut him off, and you on the gram talk about this nigga fumbled the bag, this nigga fumbled a good girl. But in reality, you just really didn't have the patience or the nurturing or he was disposable to you. And if anybody knows that if somebody messes up and they're disposable, then chances of coming back from that are going to be slim and none. That's just the way the relationships are today. And like I said, I'm not saying nobody should be disrespected. Nobody should allow themselves to be disrespected. But at the same time, nobody's perfect. And if you really want to be here, sometimes there's going to be peaks and valleys that you got to go through to make it to the promised land. That's all I'm saying.
Now I understand that, and I feel you on that. But
Sean?
But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Erica.
But when it comes to a point, what I mean is not necessarily just you did something wrong and it was trivial. I mean, when it comes to working on a relationship, why would you ask somebody to be with you and you don't want to do the work? Like, I'm not saying like, oh, it's about a first. I'm not even like, that's not even what I'm saying is, how can you tell a woman you want to be with her, you want to be in a relationship with her, and you want to get to this next level, but you don't want to do any work? I don't understand what would go through a man's life.
What is the work though? That's my question. What is the work?
The work could be anything. The work could be, okay, we need
buying you first class tickets on your birthday? Because that's what I've said.
No.
And I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm just saying.
I know what you mean. No, I know
to
what you mean.
specify
I acknowledge that.
Because.
No, and I told you that, Rich. Like, you're right. I was dead the fuck ass wrong. I don't know what that man had to do to come up with that money, and I shit on him and put that in his face, right? Okay. But when I say, okay, hey, something in the relationship is making me unhappy. Can we work on this? And for a man to just say, well, that's just the way I am. Well, what was the point of you asking to be in a relationship? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, what is the point? What would go through a man's mind? I know what goes through a woman's mind when she's on bullshit, because I'm a woman and I know what it's like when we're on that bullshit. But I don't understand why a man would pursue a woman, put all his time into a woman, to not show up in the way she's asking to show up. Why you wouldn't just say, you know what, maybe I'm not for you, because you won't let me leave. You don't want me to leave, because if I try to leave, it's no, don't go. This is, you don't want to put in the work. What the fuck? Does that make a little bit more sense? Prez, you know what I'm talking? Do you understand what I'm because I know. Okay, I just want to make sure, because you know. But does that make more sense, Rich? Like,
yeah, though, I hear you. Go ahead, Sean. I'm waiting.
I mean, and thanks for clearing that up. I mean, I'm an old man. I didn't even know what fumble the bag meant. So I'm sitting here like clueless. I'm like, what the hell is she talking about? But I guess Rich knew, so that's what it is. But you know, I was talking to my little man today, and he's a young, ambitious dude, very, very ambitious. and he reminded me of me. And I was just schooling him because he really wants to be, he really wants to be financially well off, and he is working his butt off so that he can move up in his career. And he was telling me about his friends that tell him we want the same thing, and he's frustrated with them because every time he calls them like, come on, we got to go do X or we got to go do Y, they say that they want it, but in reality, they're not willing to put in the work. And I was explaining to him, you know, everybody who says that they want it, whatever it might be, I want to be famous, I want to be rich, I want a successful relationship. Okay, that's great. But are you willing to do the work to acquire that? And you're never going to know if people, because people can talk a damn good game. People can tell you everything you want to hear. People can listen to your dreams, and they can feed off your energy, and they can tell you exactly what you're telling them and give it back to you a little different, and you think y'all two are on the same page. But truth of the matter is, you don't never know how much somebody really wants what they say that they want until it's time to put in the work. And it ain't as simple. And I know you're looking for this answer that makes sense, right? Why do men fumble the bag? They say that they want the relationship, this, that. But truth of the matter is, some niggas don't know, some people don't know, because I know women that I could say the same thing about. You say that you want a damn good man, but you're not willing to put in the work that it takes to, number one, get a good man and then keep a good man, because relationships are work. And it's the same thing with men. They talk about, mama, I'm looking for the same thing you looking for. You know, I want to build this relationship with you, this, that, and the third. But do number one, did they come from a household, and do they have any real life example of what that looks like and the work that it takes to acquire that? But number two, are they built? Do they have the stamina? Do they have the threshold for pain that it takes? Because you're gonna go through something. I'm a person who's been in a relationship for a damn long time. And it's not nothing to do with
God, you kidding me? Okay.
Again.
We good though. We good.
Okay. Yeah, like in order to get, I sit here and I talk, highly of old girl, because we done been through something to get to where we at. We done, like, we put the work in, like literally year over year, we put the work in. But when I said I wanted a good woman and she said she wanted a good man, we meant that. That wasn't talk. That wasn't lip service. That was what we were really looking for. And I think that and I'll sum it up here, I think in all areas of life, anybody could say that they want something. But the truth of the matter is, are you willing to put in the work to get it? And I think most people talk that talk. And Rich, like I know, I put Rich on in the music industry. And this little nigga was a beast. And Richard tells you, he was the same old Rich that he is today. But I always had his back because he put in the work. Do you know how many of my family members said, yo, Sean, nigga, you in a position. Why can't you hire me? Why can't you put...
Mute your phone.
Is something going? Okay.
Is it messing up again?
No, you were fine. Erica was noisy in her background.
Yeah, so many of my own family members was pissed off with me, put me on this, that, and the third, but they wasn't willing to put in the work. If I asked Rich to go clean a toilet bowl, that nigga was like, yo, I'm gonna go downstairs and I'm gonna get some Clorox and I'm like, how clean do you want that toilet? But that's the work. And people are just, I think people are delusional. They think it comes easy. And truth be told, they don't understand what it takes to acquire success on any level. And you know, we're talking, this is a relationship talk. If you want to acquire success in a relationship, it's like nothing else. I mean, it's like everything else. You got to be willing to put in the work. And it's going to be some people who have moderate success, and it's going to be some people who are like Bill Gates and have Bill Gates success in their own relationship. They are billionaires in their own relationship. They're happy. I'm literally with my best friend. This is the person who, you know, if it's just me and this person, we're good. I don't know that people are mature enough to understand what it takes to get. And when men are telling you that, when men are telling you women that, you really need to test them. You really need, because relationships, you're going to be tested, man. You really are. And I just don't think most people are willing to go through the work. That's just my thoughts.
Nah, and that's what I was saying originally. That's what I was saying in the first thing is a lot of people, like people come up to me all the time and they be like, yo, I want to be this person. I want to be that person. I said, don't look at that person. And this is the way you should look at relationships. Don't look at that relationship and say, I want that relationship. Don't look at Puff and say, I want to be Diddy in 2023. Nah, nigga. In order for you to be Diddy in 2023, you got to be Diddy in 1996, 1989, or whatever the fuck when that nigga started. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when, don't look at that relationship and see these two happy people on a yacht, drinking champagne, eating strawberries and say, oh, I want that. No, you don't want that. You want that, but you got to go back and do all the work that Sean just talked about for the last 10 years that got them there. They worked together to get that yacht. They did all those things together to be in that place that they're in right now. And I don't think that with social media, everybody wants everything immediately. They see you on the gram and they want that relationship right there. I want that one right there. But you don't even know what that consists of. So there's a nigga out there who's looking at you and he's like, yeah, baby, I want that. And you like, I want to be this. And he's like, I want to do it for you. But then when it comes time to do the work, he's looking at you like, and then when you leave, he's like, I don't want you to leave. I don't want you to leave. Let's get it together. We're going to get it together. But at the same time, he don't want to do the work. And that's all Sean was saying. We have the same sentiment. It's the same exact sentiment. Don't look.
You want to know? Go ahead, Rich. I'm sorry.
Don't look at what it is today and think that today is the ultimate of everything that's happened in that world. There was something that led to that. There was a time period that led to today. So Richie Dollars wasn't Richie Dollars today. You want to be Richie Dollars, nigga? Go back to 2000 and do all the shit that I had to do that this nigga had me doing in 2001 and 2, running around the streets of New York. Do that to be Richie Dollars in 2023. You want to be Sean Prez in 23? Go back to 96 and do all the shit that nigga was doing from there. You know what I'm saying? That's the way relationships are, but nobody wants that.
Prez,
I'm gonna say one thing, and I'll let you, because Rich just made me think of something. You know, we go into these magnificent structures called what are they called? Skies, the tall buildings. What skyscrapers? Now, the skyscrapers, we see things like one of the most famous buildings in the world, the Empire State Building, and all of these wonderful structures that man has created, right? And we can go into hotels and you can marvel at these beautiful marble floors and chandeliers, and you can say, yo, this place is beautiful. But you know what the most unsexy part of any of these structures are? It's what's below. It's what's below. It's that foundation that is dug. If a building is 100 stories high, there's at least 50 stories below that's holding that thing together that nobody talks about. That is super unsexy. That niggas had to get dirty and do the work digging and making sure that when the winds come and when the rain comes and when the storm come and the hurricane hit and the tornadoes and this, that, and the third, that building was gonna stay standing. But it's because of the foundation. And I just believe that so many people, they look and they marvel at and Rich, you hit it on the head. Yo, look at Diddy. I actually hate it because I wouldn't want to be that nigga in 2023. So we're gonna use somebody else. Look at
Sean,
Jay.
that album is fire. Don't do that. That last album is fire. He's still putting out good work.
Whatever. You look at people where they are today. Go back to the foundation. Go back. They didn't just get there by accident. They did. And I think that it's a great point you made, Rich. That's the only thing I'm saying. But go ahead, Erica.
Let me ask you this. Do you think the foundation is what's wrong with the dating pool and the things that we face in our community now is just not based on a good foundation? We don't have enough people to see what Black love looks like, what treating a good woman is like, what treating a good man is like. Is it the foundation that's cracked?
Of course. But I think it's across the board. I think social media shows everybody in their best light. They show everybody, and everybody looks like they got it all together, and it doesn't show the work. It literally doesn't show the work. It don't show the grind. It don't show the hurt. It don't show the like. Come on, man. Like relationships, they ain't easy. They you know, people. We can look at Black love and this, that, and third. You can look at couples that have been together forever. But I guarantee in the beginning, it was a lot of tears. It was a lot of trying to figure each other out and how can we coexist in this, because I love you, you love me, but we button heads. How do we get beyond that? How do we not we know we got something good, but every 5 minutes we fighting. How do we get beyond that? How do we come to a place that we can coexist and build something beautiful? Because we know about it. Social media, the world doesn't show that. It doesn't.
I think that, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get off. I promise. I think one of the other problems with relationships nowadays is too many people think that this relationship is supposed to lead to marriage. They're not experiencing people. You gain experience in how to deal with the next person by dealing with multiple people. You don't have to be exclusive with one person to take a lesson and to move forward and know how to be ready for what could be your lifelong term partner. It's all about, oh, I just want to get married now, or I just want to do this now. No, experience people, learn behaviors, learn patterns, learn how you react to people so you can be better for the next person. Every person you meet that says, hi, I think you're pretty, or that outfit is nice, is not meant to be your lifelong partner. That's all I got.
Erica?
I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry.
Later,
missed y'all. I missed y'all. Bye, y'all. Thank you.
Later, E.
Bye.
Later.
All right, let's go. Moving on.
Please let Riri in here. You've been calling her name all night.
I know, but I can't find her in the damn thing now.
Are you
Too
serious?
many people. Punky Brewster. Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna get her.
All right, we got 30 minutes. So these conversations is long as hell. We got to get them.
I'm still scrolling. I'm literally still scrolling. There's got to be 300 people in here. I'm up to 189 right now. Riri, please. I hate to say this. Riri, you got to send me a new request, man.
All right, get somebody
I got literally.
in. We got 30 minutes, Rich. Let's go.
Stop rushing me, Sean.
We got 30 minutes.
My eyes 12:28. My eyes 12:28.
Everybody, next week will be our last week on Instagram. Please go follow us, the official Boys Club on YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us there. 2 weeks from now, that's where we'll be coming in from. We will no longer be doing it on Instagram.
Let's try Oval the comedian again at the top of the list. Anybody coming in?
Nope. Make sure you X out the people
Yep.
that it doesn't stop people from coming in.
Ren Green. Ren Green. Ren Green. Nope. All right. Nicole Moore. Nicole Moore. Nope. Okay. Julie, Riri on fire. Riri on fire. Okay.
You found her?
She must have sent it back to the, it went to the top.
Oh, I'm finally up here. Hold on. I thought this shit didn't work. Rich, you were screaming, saying about me requesting you so much. It was because it was denying it.
It was the
And look, I was just about to get off, and then now I got to get back on.
9-year
Okay,
request.
first of all, you guys remember me? I wanted to say hi. Remember me? Oh, no?
Yes.
Okay.
What up?
How you doing? Hi, Sean. I hear about what y'all talking about, right? So last week I met this guy.
Oh shit.
No, it's nothing bad. Don't start. It went smooth. And we was talking, but I let him know, this is the key. I let him know that I don't like no men in my house. That's the first thing I told him. I don't bring men to my house. So the men today, I don't know what's going on. They don't want to take women out. I don't know what it is, or they feel that women are independent, or because they got their own apartment, they feel that you should turn around and cook for them. Why don't you cook for me, and why don't I go to your house? So anyways, he ended up going to some bowling alley in Queens called 360, and I was going to go out with my girlfriends. One thing led to another. I didn't go. He went out. He hits me up at 3:40 in the morning talking about, I'm close to your house. Thank you, guys. I don't know how close he was because I never even told him exactly where I lived at, but he wasn't too far from me. And I told him, you can't come to my house. First of all, at this time, he said, why not? I said, because I told you from the beginning that I don't let nobody in my house. Whatever happened to taking me out, or let's go out for a bite or a drink, or let's get to know each other a little more. We only spoke for a week. And I just came out of a relationship 3.5 months ago.
You was just poking.
So, huh?
You was poking niggas in your previous relationship. Let that nigga know.
No, I didn't know. Shut up, Rich. Listen. So he came out and he told me, oh, it's like that? And I said, yes, it's like that. So he said, all right, say less. It's water under the bridge. So I want you guys to answer that question for me, being that you guys are men. What he meant by it's under the bridge, like, fuck you, I don't need you, I don't need to go to your house?
Basically.
That's crazy, because I don't let you in my house at 4 o'clock.
Riri,
What at 4 o'clock you go?
Riri, come on, let's just do the signs real quick. The nigga wanted to, shout out to Katie Lay. What's up, KK? The nigga wanted to come to the crib. The nigga wanted to come to the crib. You didn't let him come to the crib. He went out, he hung out, he hit you up later on some like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm drunk, I've been out with my guys, and I'm close to your crib. So he tried again to get to your house. He was only trying to smash. It was clear that he's only trying to smash. He didn't even make it, he didn't even hide it.
Wow.
So then when you shut him down again, he was like, cool, you're not gonna let me smash, I'm out. Water under the bridge.
No, it's not again, Rich. This is the first time we spoke. And that same week that he went out, that week, I don't think he was drunk. He's not the type to get drunk. He just probably went and had 1 or 2 drinks with his boys. And then he called me on like, can I go to your house? Of course, at that time, it's a booty call. But why would you call me knowing that I've told you from the very beginning when we first had the first conversation that I don't let men in my house? Why can't you have told me, meet me at the bowling alley? You know what I'm saying?
Because he was trying to smash and he ain't want to meet you at the bowling alley, Riri.
So then that means that I'm never going to get a man because everything is let me go to your house. Let me go to your house. Can you cook for me? What the fuck is wrong with these guys today then? The fuck out of here. Everything is pussy?
I don't think that you just made a bad statement. I don't think that you're never gonna get a man. I don't think that that's the case. I think you just gotta keep doing what you do. You just gotta keep trying to find the right guy because
oh my God, it's terrible. Anybody I speak to and knows that I got my own apartment is can I go over there? Can you know how to cook? Like the craziest questions. It can never be, can you get dressed and let me take you out for a bite or let's have a conversation, let's go eat some, like, or have a drink. Nothing. Everything is, can I go to your house? Like, I don't get it. What's wrong with these men? Or is it that I'm picking the wrong man? I don't know.
Apparently you're picking the wrong man. Sean, what you gotta say?
You said what I gotta say. I mean, your first mistake, like a nigga hit you at 3 in the morning. Why you hitting him back? Like,
I didn't hit him back. I picked the phone up. I thought he was in his crib, ready to conversate with me again, and he wasn't. Yeah, I thought he went home, and he probably said, "Shut up, let me call."
Riri, you not new to this.
Of course, I'm not new to this, but come on. If I'm telling you from the beginning.
Hold on, girl. Hold on. And I want to get other callers in here. You're not new to this. It's 3 in the morning. That nigga is not talking about nothing except some ass. That's it. So you picking up the phone, you hitting them back.
I never picked up the phone and hit him back. When he called me at that time, I picked up the phone because I was still on Instagram. I was on live and I had just gotten off, so I don't go to bed till late. So when he called me and I picked it up, I thought he was really in his crib and he called me just to, conversate. But when he told me he's nearby my crib, can he come to my house? And I said, no. And then he said, what? I said, no, I told you from the beginning, I don't bring men to my house. He said,
okay,
say less.
We heard this already. Like, come on, we not new to this. And neither are you. If a girl called me at 3 in the morning, she calling for one reason. Come on, like you act like you ain't been out there.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, Sean.
It's nothing a woman gonna call me at some 3 in the morning that what else we gonna talk about? That's it.
Nothing. You're absolutely right, both of y'all. But what I'm saying is, why is always that? Like, do I gotta come fuck me look in my face? Because everything is fucking.
Riri.
Yo, like I can't get somebody to say, let me take you out to eat. Everything is that you got to come to my house. Yeah, looking at me.
Riri, I don't know what you want us to say. I don't know what you want us to say. We don't know. We not with you. I can't tell you what you out there doing. I know that niggas. I know that whatever you doing, you need to change it up because niggas want to fuck and niggas don't want to take you out. So you a grown woman, like Sean said. You're not new to this. You true to this.
Right.
So
but I don't give them. But I don't give them that energy like I'm a born bag.
You got a lion on your breast or whatever the hell that is. You giving the energy more than you realize.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to tell.
What is that tattoo climbing up your right breast?
a big ass butterfly. What that means? Cause I got a tattoo. That means he's coming to hit it. Yo, what the
I
fuck
just
is
know
going on here?
maybe not show the tattoo so early. How about that?
Yo, Reed.
Oh my God, I'm dead.
Yo, Reed. We'll see you
What?
next week, man.
All right, boo.
Later.
Bye, Sean.
That damn Riri out there, boy. Riri on fire.
Riri on fire. But I love when Riri calls in. She be having me rolling.
Me too. Gloria Vasquez, what's that? Gloria Vasquez, are you in the room? Somebody said Riri looked like a 5 a.m. call. Y'all niggas ain't shit. This chat room, y'all motherfuckers in the chat is brutal. Katie, hey, where you at? You still in here? All right, hold on. We got to get rid of this person. All right, let's go with this person. Nicole Moore. Nicole Moore, are you here? Nicole Moore. Okay, no Nicole Moore. I really hate this. Gigi, lightly melanated, lightly melanated. Lightly melanated.
Hi, cousin. I'm only here to say hi.
Holy smokes. Yo, what up, Lil G?
What's up?
What you doing in here? I didn't know you was in here.
Listening to these dummies. These girls is too big for that.
Be nice, be nice, be
I
nice,
am.
G.
How are you?
I'm good, but we ain't gonna eat it. You gotta jump in the conversation. We can do all this offline.
What's the conversation?
Come on.
I just got online. I just heard some 5 a.m. calls.
Rich, you wanna tell her? You out of here, G.
Sean, is this your niece?
My cousin.
This is your cousin?
Like my real cousin, yeah.
All right.
And,
I'm out of
yo,
here.
no, Lil Gigi, you messing up this show. Come in next week. We getting you out of here.
All right. Love you.
Later. Love you, girl.
Sean?
I don't pick them. You do.
Blue Vet 75. Blue Vet 75. That might be a guy. I think there's a guy in that picture. Is it? No? Yo, what up?
Good, what's good? Hey, what's up? Oh man, y'all conversation tonight, man. Y'all really on one. You know, and I'm in the gym right now, so I'm gonna walk outside. Ooh, man, the last lady that called, I got to give it to y'all, man. Y'all really showed a lot of restraint. But when I look at the dating scene, it's normally women like her that are saying the dating pool is actually full of piss. It's really not the attractive women. Normally, it's not the younger women. It's the older women. And they say the dating pool is full of piss because, unfortunately, they stayed at the casino too long. And now the men that they was able to attract when they was younger, but played like a deck of cards, now don't want them. The thing is, right? I'm 47. So when I date, right, and some women may not like it, but I can date the mother or the daughter. And a lot of times, I'd rather take the 27, 28-year-old over the 50-year-old. And I know a lot of women don't like that, but this is how it is. If you've been single your whole entire life, right, and now all of a sudden at 48, 50 years old, you've been getting ran through your whole life. You got a few kids. Now all of a sudden you want me to pay a premium for what everybody got before you got to me? Make that make sense? It don't. So it's not that the dating pool is full of piss. Really, you the piss in the pool. Listen. Okay, so check this out, right? If a lady say only bums approach me, she say only broke dudes and only bums approach me. What that should tell you is you're a homeless shelter. You are attracting what you are, and that's what people hate. You know what I'm saying? And if
Yo,
you are,
hold on. Nigga, you just said if girls come on, women come on here and say, yo, only bums approach me. That means that she's a homeless shelter. Nigga, you
right?
are a classic.
I mean, but it only makes sense. The majority of it, the majority of the time, the ones that doing the most complaining are the ones that's not getting the results that they think they should get. Now, this is the thing. If you don't like the results, you need to look at yourself. Now, I want to go back. The reason why the dating game is fucked up is 50-50. 50% of it is our fault. We can't get mad at Sexy Red. Because Luke said face down, ass up, that's the way we like to fuck. Luke said doo-doo brown. Luke said pop that pussy. Too Short said even worse. So really, are we reaping what we sowed? Is this generation the outcome of what we actually did? If you look at it, right? We can't complain that these women aren't our grandmothers and our great-grandmothers, because some of the women saw what their grandmothers and great-grandmothers went through, and they understood that grandmama and mama couldn't leave because she didn't have money to leave. So that's why she stayed, knowing that granddaddy had kids over here and kids over there. So now that the internet, social media, education has given women the opportunity to make just as much money, if not more money than us, now they looking at us like we're an option. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't have to get married. I don't have to stay faithful to you because, you know, I got my own bag. I got my own shit. And I'm not going to let you treat me any old kind of way. A lot of that is our fault. We got to own it. But I will say, this is the double standards of the game, ladies. A man can play the streets until he's 75 and still can reach back and wipe up that 40-year-old, the one he really wants. But a woman can't play the game until she's 75 and get married, because she still got to wait for the man she wants to marry her. And that's the double standard of the game. So I understand y'all women, but please understand, y'all are not men. Y'all can't play the game we play. I'm sorry. Y'all have all the cards, all the chips in y'all favor up until y'all about 30, 35. After that, it's a wrap. As a man, you can be a bum, you can be a sucker, you can be in prison. But if you turn your life around, you get status, you get a little bread, you get a little good look on yourself, and you can still marry a good woman. Women can't do that. And I don't give a fuck. Look, guys, look at the women of the 90s. I always go back. The majority of the it girls of the 90s are single right now. The majority of the it girls of the 90s are single right now. Can't find a man. Them hoes still fine.
Hold on. Name some of them.
Let's go with Lisa Ray. Let's go with the, what's the other chick? Vivica Fox. Let's go with, is Sanaa Lathan married? Is Nia Long married?
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry. Listen, the Instagram models, before they was Instagram models, the Bucky the Bodies, the Superheads, the you know what I'm saying? Like, just name them. The Stacey Dash. Like, none of them chicks is married. Even shit, Cookie Lyons. I can't remember her real name, but Taraji
Henson. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like none of them. None of them. But
So
Denzel Washington.
hold on. What's the point? What's the point you're making with that?
The point is this strong, independent, I got to get my bag, I got to get my own money. That shit don't age well. It don't age well. To the point, they can't do what we do. Them chicks got their money. They got their bags. They got their family. But now, look at them. Them chicks, they not getting married. they not getting the man they want. It's over. And I think that's a hard pill for a lot of women to swallow. But even though Rich been in a Creek squad, whatever, if he want to settle down and get married to a good woman, he can. But a woman in his position, more than likely she can't. And that's just how the game is. So I would say, women, play your cards right. When you young, don't give babies to random niggas. You know what I'm saying? Prioritize your womb, your health, and your wealth. And I'll cheer right there.
That's real. That's real. You got a lot of good insight, my brother. I ain't even gonna hold you.
Man, and listen, bro, I got two daughters, bro. I'm at the gym right now with my baby girl. She working out. Bro, I talk to my daughters the same way I talk to y'all. I keep it raw and real because it is weird out here. Like the woman said earlier, and I really had to process that. Human and human interaction is weird now. We remember riding our bicycle over to our friend's house so we could play Nintendo. You know where everybody was there because that house had 8 or 9 bikes in the front yard. Everybody sitting around having a good time. But now human to human interaction, it's so bad now. Honestly, bro, I found a dead body and didn't even get moved. That's how so desensitized we are. Like, I didn't get scared. I didn't cry. I was like, damn, let me call 911. It's a dead body. But that's how desensitized we are now. And I think that is a part of it. Human to human interaction and even the way we feel about each other is slowly creeping away. And I'll cheer right there.
All right, my man. Thank you, bro.
Right.
That was good insight.
All right, y'all have a good one.
I love when you call in, brother.
He always,
man,
he always got the good shit. But Sean, that was what I was saying earlier. Real quick, when you was talking about the lady that you played the video, that's what I'm saying. Essentially, he just made my point. That shit don't age well. That thinking that a man is optional and all that shit, it might be cool for you right now, but in due time, you're gonna look back at these days and be like, damn, I should have gave some of them niggas a shot because now I'm out here and I'm fucked up at 50 years old trying to figure it out. But we could go ahead, we could keep it moving. Denise Justianano.
Everybody, please follow us on YouTube. Next week will be our last show on Instagram. Please follow us, the Official Boys Club on YouTube.
With love, yours truly. With love, yours truly. Are you here? With love, yours truly. It's getting late. We got 6 minutes. With love, yours truly. What's up, mama?
Finally, I'm like, tap me in,
I've been
Okay.
trying. We got a lot of people. We got a lot of people tonight.
I know.
And that's a good thing.
I want to make it brief so I can give someone
What's
else an
your
opportunity. First,
name, girl?
oh, I'm Rachel in Atlanta. First, I want to put this up so y'all can see it. So I'm going to drop. This is some really great literature. So a couple things real quick. First, I want to touch on the technology component. You know, technology has given people the opportunity to connect in places that you couldn't before. You know, globalization is a huge thing. And so you have to put your character first. You can't blame technology saying it's desensitizing people because, you know, if you have empathy, your character is intact, you're listening to people's stories, you empathize with them, you relate. So you are connecting with people. You just got to make sure your character is intact, you know, number one. So I want to say that. The other point with the men being an option, you know, here's the thing with that. It's not that men are an option. I think the young lady had a poor choice of words, you know, with when you're in a position where you don't have to settle for a partner out of need, you know, I can't do this alone. I need someone to help me pay my bills. I need someone to provide for me. When you're not in that position, then you're able to truly choose a partner based upon how well they actually mesh with you. And so I think, you know, earlier in the conversation, you were touching on a lot of, you know, instances where there's a specific type of woman that, you know, people who you surround yourself with seem to come across, and these scenarios that, you know, are really, really off. And so I think the question becomes at that point, what is it about the man's preference that he continues to either approach or have the interactions with those types of women? Like, there has to be something that's drawing the man to that woman that creates the interaction. And so that's the question. I want to make it quick, but I'm gonna put this up here because I'm pushing a book, right? I want to put this up there so people can, there's some really great information. It talks about, you know, character, community, education, economy. There's really great content in there. And I think that people, I just want to say, you know, everybody deserves love. We're meant to be together. You know, it goes back to Genesis, Adam and Eve. You know, women, we have roles. It's okay to be feminine. It's okay to be vulnerable. You know, it's okay to love on our men, but our men have to be able to love on us, and they have to be able to want to receive, you know, that love as well. So the question is, what is it that these guys keep, you know, they're continuously attracted to the same type of woman?
Sean?
That question is so random. Why don't you plug the book? What's the name of the book? Because it's coming across backwards.
Okay, the name of the book is Marcus Garvey, Message to the People.
Okay, got you. Nice.
Yeah. So I wanted to, you know, just kind of plug that, but I don't, it's not a question per se, maybe, you know, Prez, that you're, you know, able to answer. First of all, congratulations. I'm so happy for you that you found love. And Rich, I hope you find your you know, your person too. But I think that's the question, because it's like these women, the women, but it takes two, you know, at the same time, if you're choosing a woman and to approach her or to engage, there's something that's happening that's drawing the man to that specific type of woman, because there's so many women out here who are not asking for things to be bought for them on the first date prematurely. I mean, that was crazy. Like, the things that you were saying were absolutely insane. I don't know anybody, and I think I only see that on TV and social media. And so if that's the case, you know, I have
from Atlanta?
What's your name again?
Rachel.
Rachel, good to meet you. I didn't even understand your question. I think I understand where you're going, but it's really a question for Rich. It's not a Sean question. You're sitting here and you're saying kind of what I said at that point in the show. Like, yo, I almost can't believe that women are asking dudes, you know, for $500 on the first date. I mean, don't even go on the first, like, you're saying that, but this is what is clearly out there. So I don't know where the disconnect is, because I almost can't believe that this is what's out there. But, you know, Rich is like, yo, this is real. I'm not imagining this. This is what is out there. And it gets crazy because somebody like yourself comes on and says, you know, not me, not any of the girls I know, but all the dudes can't be wrong at the same time. Somebody is approaching these men and got their hand out, and they're making demands, and they're acting entitled before we even get to know each other. So, Rich, you probably better suited for this than I am.
I mean, the short answer for me is that we went over something earlier when we were talking about different kinds of things. So no, every woman is not asking for money, but there's a woman that's asking for money. There's also a woman who just said what the woman said earlier and said that men are optional, relationships are optional. There's a woman like you who just said that you don't have to, essentially what you're saying is you don't have to settle for somebody out of need, because you have your own. So there's a bunch of different reasons why these relationships aren't working. If you want something to work, you do have to accept some things. You do have to settle for some things. You do have to give it an effort. And as long as people have the mentality, and I'll say this before the 10 o'clock hour, well, it's the 10 o'clock hour. As long as people look at relationships and say, I don't need this relationship because relationships will never work. Put your money aside. Put the fact that you don't have to settle because you have money aside, and make a relationship work. That's how things work. We had this same analogy when we talked about somebody being Jay-Z and Beyonce before 2023. When Jay-Z was getting caught in elevators and Beyonce was fucking with Dame and Beyonce was fucking doing this and running around with Kelly and Nelly and Kuda. Like, there was a bunch of shit that led to the relationship that America loves today. The premier relationship in the world that America loves today was not perfect. And if Beyonce went into that relationship and said, I'm fucking Beyonce. I'm Destiny Child. I'm one of the finest motherfuckers in the world. This nigga can't cheat on me and get away with it. Oh, I'm sorry. Jay-Z said, oh, this girl broke up the fucking crew. This did it. I'm talking about Elite. No, I'm talking about Elite. I fucked up.
Yeah.
But anyway, you get my point. You get my point. Yeah. Everything has peaks and bounds. Y'all rather listen to Cardi B tell y'all to cut niggas off and fuck niggas and good.
Don't say y'all. Don't say y'all.
People rather sit in the house and listen to somebody when the reality is she's married to a nigga who cheated on her.
But you know, the other thing is,
never allow Cardi B to, she tell y'all to cut them dudes off. And drug them and get their money and do A, B, C, and D. But she's sitting in the home married to a nigga who's a fucking compulsive cheater.
Yeah, but when you have people who are still operating in survival mode, right? They're seeing these things, they're listening to these things, and this is fantasy for them, right? Like, they're seeing this, it's not their life, they're escaping, and they're falling in love, literally, with the thought of what that would look like. And so when you know, you're seeing something that takes you out of your life, you're in survival mode, you want to escape. Entertainment is how you escape. Then you're consuming all this information and you begin to fantasize it. So what are you going to do? You're going to start acting like it. You're going to start trying to become the thing that takes you away from the survival mode that you're in. This, you know, so when you're in these types of situations, again, this is the people, you know. But if you go back to the character, and if you're looking for and you're dealing with people who of good and strong character, you know, who are placing values in the right place, maintaining, you know, empathy, and it's character.
I don't want to say that. You keep saying that, and you keep saying that, and I don't agree. You started the conversation saying character and empathy. That's not what social media is. That's not what this world is right now. That's not what this world is. Not to say it doesn't exist, but like I said earlier, that's the minority. And if we're gonna talk, people don't talk about the minority. You talk about the majority. And the majority is what we're discussing all day. Not the empathetic, not the sympathetic, not the person who we're talking like. Exactly. We're talking about the day-to-day activity, and these relationships are predicated on the day-to-day activity, today's activity, and that's why they don't succeed. Because there's a woman that's saying that they're optional. There's another woman that's saying get your bag. There's another woman that's entitled. All of this shit comes from social media in places where people don't understand how to do work. Yeah. Nobody wants to do the work. Nobody wants to do the work anymore because everybody's disposable, because the grass is always greener on the other side, and you don't have to do any work because there's another 3 niggas in your DMs. You don't have to put up with this nigga's five months of bullshit for 5 years of bliss because there's 5 more niggas in your DM. So you know what happened? You end up fucking with everybody's 5 minutes of bullshit and cutting everybody off. And then you turn around and you're 40 years old looking for a soulmate and you're mad because niggas don't want to fuck with you no more.
Yeah. Well, you know, sometimes it takes the person who is not talking about what the majority is talking about, bringing it up and just kind of shining that light in places where it's not being shown, and talking about things in places where it's not being talked about, because the exposure is still there. And I wish everybody some healing from whatever hurts that they're holding on to, so they can, you know, step into a place of vulnerability and openness, so that way they can move on from those toxic behaviors and traits and move into more positive spaces.
Indeed.
So yeah, thank you.
That's a good parting message.
All right,
All right,
good night,
Mama.
guys.
Later, girl. Please follow us on YouTube. We're going to be on. Okay. Yeah, we'll be there in 2 weeks. This is our last 2 weeks on Instagram.
So, yo,
Instagram has been giving us the hard one for years.
man. So it is 10 p.m. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. 7:30 we start, 10 o'clock we end. Y'all know the vibes. But it was a great week. Excuse me. Yeah, it was a great week, great day today. Appreciate everybody coming out. Next week will be our last week, like Sean said. Sean, you got the last word, man.
Please go follow us on YouTube, the official Boys Club on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. Next week's our last time here, and we're going to move it over there. So if you want to get the notification, please subscribe. Peace and love, y'all.
All right, y'all. See y'all next week.